Adventure and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Hey there, it's Pipeman, the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio, and I am super excited because I am about to witness, and I'm going to show it to you, the long-awaited press conference at Hellfest 2025 of one of my favorite bands, Savatage. Check it out.
Florida in the house.
Florida!
First things first. First things first. Do I owe anybody any money? No.
Bonjour. Merci. Hellfest. Merci. Thank you very much. Je suis Dawn of the Underground, and I'm working with All Rock here at this festival. I'm from Florida, USA. How does it feel? Well, two things. One, I thought it was hot in Florida. Apparently I was wrong. France wins, hands down. As far as Hellfest, how does it feel to be playing one of the most amazing festivals of all of Europe? How's your experience been here?
Well, so far, it's been amazing. You see this festival every year, and you imagine what it would like to be here just as a fan. And you watch the bill that would come up, and they see each night has 4 bands that could headline any other festival on the planet. And not that we had known a year ago from now, we really didn't know Savatage was going to be playing. It's like we had always hoped, but it wasn't a reality. So when you saw this festival, you just would say it'd be actually fun to go there. Now to be here and be playing, it's a real great feeling, and we can't wait to see what it's going to be like in a couple hours.
I think the fact we're playing any festival is pretty amazing right now. But I was able to walk around these grounds today, and this place is awesome. It is set up so well. I can't believe how big it is, how cool it is. Everybody seems to be having a great time, and yes, it's wicked hot here. So we're going to have a good show later. But heat aside, we're going to be awesome.
Hi guys, Eamon from Eon Music in Ireland here. I was speaking to 2 lovely gentlemen in the middle earlier, and we were chatting about the lineage of the great guitar players in Savatage. So this is a question for you, Al. What's it like for you to be playing those killer leads, gutter ballet, stuff like that? It must be amazing.
Well, first of all, Chris Oliva, remarkable talent, amazing guitar player. I never had the privilege of meeting him, but to study his work is one of the highlights of my musical life. Now, as far as the solo goes, we have a deal. Chris Caffrey was, I'm going to use the word, not student, but you were brother to Chris Oliva, and you were in the band with them touring, so he is responsible for the amazing, daunting task of trying to replicate Chris Oliva's work, so I'm going to give him all props on that one. You know, my job when we're playing those songs is to try to replicate his rhythm guitar playing and John Oliva's rhythm guitar playing. Very unique, very, very difficult, because John Oliva played left-handed upside down. You know, so when you're trying to actually play Handful of Rain correctly, it's not as easy as it seems. You know, and you know, as a rhythm guitar player, that's 80% of my job, is to make a foundation for the singer, to have a real solid platform to deliver the song. You know, it's all about serving the song these days. But studying Chris Oliva's work has been just absolutely fantastic.
Hi guys, I'm Neil from Total Rock in the UK. There's been talk of new material from Savatage. What can you tell us?
We got a lot of songs in the can right now, a lot of demos. John's been cranking them out. There is a lot of material. There's more material coming. We do plan on doing another album, but we don't have a timeline on it. Right now our focus is to get out and play live, kind of get back into the saddle, so to speak, and that's what we're doing. We so far the tour's been great. A lot of fans, a lot of happy faces, a lot of people singing along. So that's where our focus is now. We do have something in the works, but there's no solid time or date when it's going to come out.
looks like it's me. Hi guys, I'm Elisa from the Road to Rock in the UK. It's lovely to have you over here. Thank you for coming. You guys have such a great history behind you. How have you found the music scene changing over the years, and what is the secret to still being here, still going after all this time?
Well, I think the secret is the music itself. You know, what Paul and John and Chris Oliva created years ago is something that's truly unique. Even when they were a four-piece metal band, nobody sounded like Savatage. When Paul O'Neill came aboard, and between his lyrics and his production ideas and adding orchestration and concepts and this and that, regardless of what has happened in the music scene, in the metal scene, whatever scene, Savatage has kind of maintained its own thing. And I think that is really what's helped bring us back right now. That music is just so unique and so true to itself. I can't get over talking about Paul's lyrics because they connect with so many people on so many different levels. We hear all the time about, you know, the song "Believe Saved My Life," etc., etc. You know, we hear that almost every show from several people. So there's something really, really magical about what those guys created years ago. And you know, as far as us sitting up here, we're all just so fortunate to be part of that and carrying this on. The band has gone through a lot of changes over the years. But one thing that's been true is the music, is the lyrics, and the meaning behind it, and that's why we're here today. We're just carrying this on.
I have another quick question for you. You may, if you have walked around the site, seen the enormous statue of Lemmy here. I'm sure everybody has a Lemmy story. Are you prepared to tell us your Lemmy story?
Well, I had the opportunity, we were playing, I think it was Mind Over Matter in Austria in 2001, and I looked on the side of the stage, and Johnny's, one of his first years out with Savatage, the band had toured with Motorhead on the tour. That was his first one, I believe, that he had done with the band, and they loved watching Chris Oliva. And Phil and Lemmy came up to me after the show and they said, "Look, we watched you playing and there's a ghost in you." And they said, "There's only been 11 people in the past that have ever played on stage with Motorhead. We'd like you to be number 12. So that night I got to go in the dressing room and sit down with them and have a shot of Jack Daniels. I think I did Killed by Death, and I got on stage for them, and it was a really great experience. So those guys were really nice. I saw them a lot on the road, so they're really cool. They're great guys.
Yeah, my first, Savatage's first European tour, we opened for Motorhead. And I'll never forget, our gear showed up like an hour before we're supposed to play. There's 4,000 kids chanting Motorhead. I'm getting Deutschmarks bounced off my freaking head, and we haven't played a note. And so we went into the dressing room and we grabbed the set list and just totally ripped it up. It was like, okay, we can't do this shit, and we ain't get out of here alive. So we started with City Beneath the Surface, and as soon as Chris came out there and did Eddie Van Halen hammer-offs, the crowd started smiling. And after the first night, the guys, you know, when you're in an opening slot, it depends on who you're opening for. Sometimes you don't get a whole lot, and sometimes, you know, they help you out. And Phil loved Chris, and so did Lemmy, and so they were just like, whatever you guys need, just ask. So it immediately turned into like a friendship, and we had a great time. It was on the Orgasmatron tour, and it was our first experience in Europe, and we're opening for these guys, and they literally, he was so nice to us that literally anything we wanted, we needed extra time for sound check, no worries, because it's Motorhead, you know. As good as you are, you're not going to be Motorhead. And Lemmy was sweet to us, and I'll never forget that, because we'd always see him at festivals and stuff, you know, on different bills and stuff. Just a kind of soul, yeah, just a great guy.
Dawn from All Rock. You had said about tearing up the set list. When you're in a European festival compared to an American festival, do you switch up your set list based upon the crowd? And what is your experience with U.S. versus European audiences?
Yeah, well, with the with Spotify, we can use analytics to kind of figure out what's popular here, what's popular there, what's popular there. So we do mix the setup according to what's listened to the most. As far as the states go, right now we're focused on Europe. So we get through this next year, we have a whole bunch of stuff planned. So this is just a kind of a test of waters to see if this would work, and it's worked way better than we thought it would. So next year there's going to be a lot more dates and a lot more stuff going on.
Thank you.
Was there up there? Was there a chance? Did you ever think you'd get here back to being Savatage, given that the success of TSO, or did the success of TSO prevent Savatage from reforming faster?
Look, I always told people that my crystal ball stopped working, so I was just waiting. I was so confident, and I don't know how, that it would happen again, just because, as I said, the music is that strong, and I knew what the fans were like by being a fan. It's like that music never left me when we stopped playing. It was in me stronger than ever. So when I saw the younger kids online, I was like, this music is growing, and I would talk to people. Like my Facebook page first, it went over a couple 100,000 likes on my music page, and there was 20,000 in Syria, and there was 40,000 in Egypt, and it was just all over the world. I was seeing all these people didn't know Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They knew Savatage, they knew that music. So it was like, I was just hoping that one day we'd be able to get back out and be to the places we've never went to before. And this year we went to Argentina and Chile, and we never had a chance to go there. We've never had a chance to be here. So my, sitting there rubbing the rabbit's foot, it kind of worked, and we're back out.
I think you got to understand the success of TSO was as much a surprise to us as it was to anybody. We did not expect that to happen, but it did. And you can't fault John and Paul for taking that on, because TSO has become just a huge hit in America. Along with that is the Savatage fan base. They never gave up. Never. We haven't played properly, done a proper tour in 23 years, but we've been hearing this ever since the last show we did back in 2002. So we knew that the interest was there, but seeing this happen the way it's happening right now is nothing short of encouraging. We're all just so excited to get back over here.
Excited for new music in the US, so what can you tell us?
Well, like I said before, we got a lot of music that's in the can. Demo's done, and John's still writing on things, we're still writing stuff. So we don't have a date set in stone, but we're going to do a more extensive touring than we did this year. We're looking to hit Asia, do more South America dates, get into Mexico, definitely come back and do the European festival run. So there's just going to be a lot more live dates coming up next year. And now that we're out, we can kind of, get some better slots. There'll be openings, we barely got a bus. That's how late. We started calling in November to get a bus for June, and they were like, what are you, crazy? You ain't getting a bus. So, it was decided a little late, but it was decided, and here we are. Next year's going to be even better.
I'm glad you're here.
Hi, I'm Bahar, and I'm from Turkey. So I'm kind of representing the Turkish fans. So they would kill me if I wouldn't ask you, would you consider in your, next tour, your next time touring Europe, would you consider visiting Turkey as well? Because we were never able to, see you over there.
No place is off the table. So, yeah.
I think with the reaction of what we've done so far, there's a lot of possibilities ahead of us. We got to take this day by day. Chris says that all the time, but it's absolutely correct. We don't really know yet, but things are looking very good. We've done really well in this run so far. I think it's going to open up some real opportunities for us in the future.
Hi guys, me again. With your work with TSO, and you're saying you're working on some new material, could we possibly see some collaborations with people that have been in that area?
Well, right now, like Jeff just said, and I said, we're going day by day on all this. What
is going to be in the future of Savatage is going to be what happens next. You know, it's like we can't even exactly say that right now. I know it sounds a little Spinal Tap-ish, but it's like we're just happy to be back. You know, like I said, a year ago, I didn't know I would be sitting here playing with Savatage. So to ask who we may be working with, what we may be doing, it's like that, to me, is the furthest from my mind. I'm sitting here just the happiest kid in the world because my band's back. So
When you mean collaborating, you mean with TSO people? Musicians in general? Absolutely not. No. This was started out as a 4-piece band in Tampa, Florida, with the chemistry built in, and it grew up into what it was with when I joined last. You know, I'm the new guy in the band 30 years later. And with Paul O'Neill, and the chemistry that exists within this group of people is unmistakable. One more element comes from the outside, it ain't the same chemistry. You know? So, yeah.
we're talking a lot about the future. I'd like to ask you about your immediate future, and I'm talking about once you play your set, you're going to stick around, see some of the bands, you're hanging around for Hellfest for the weekend, or
No,
or just for
unfortunately,
today?
we're gonna, as soon as we hit our set, we gotta jump on a bus and make it to where we're going, Brussels.
Yeah, we got to go.
Grasshopper.
Yeah, we got.
And we're barely gonna slide in, you know. So I know that we'll finish up, we'll towel all off, you know. But unfortunately, we won't have a chance to stick around and watch some amazing talent that's going. I mean, to be on the same bill as Steve Ian, Joe Satriani, you know, Joe Bonamassa with his band, you know, Scorpions, Priest, and of course, you know, Petrucci and company. You know, we'd love to stay all night and hang out and witness this, to be part of this. But dude, we got to get to Grasshopper real quick.
Maybe one of the last questions?
Yeah, anybody else?
Or not?
No, we're good? The Easy Bake Oven is now closed. Thank you guys. Thank you all. Thank you guys.
Hey, it's Pipeman, the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio. Royal Republic is here at Hellfest, and they're about to do a press conference. So let's take a watch.
Hello, Royal Republic. Welcome to the hottest press conference you'll probably ever attend.
It's insane. At least we got fans.
I'm Neil, by the way, from the UK, from Total Rock. I just wanted to ask you as well, Hellfest has a lot of big metal bands. You guys bring the party, you bring the dance moves. Do you think that the Hellfest audience are ready for you? And I also want to ask a follow-up question. Who in the band has the best dance moves?
That would be me, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You want to see him now?
Yes.
Am I doing this?
Yes, of course.
You are.
Yeah.
You're committed now.
Yeah, I can't keep a beat that long.
All right.
I need a beat.
Okay.
Do the worm. Alright. Bonjour. Bonjour.
Merci beaucoup for the festival. My name is Dawn. I'm from America, and I'm here at Hellfest. And I wanted to ask a question. How has it been since your last Hellfest? What have you guys been working on?
Last we never did Hellfest before.
Well, then I've been misinformed.
This is
So
our
how
first
have
time.
you been?
Yeah, we
How are you
wanted to
enjoying
do
the
Very
festival?
good. Throughout our whole life leading up to this point, you know, ups and downs, strikes and gutters.
Fantastic. And what can we expect with your new album?
We don't know yet.
No,
we have no idea.
There is no new album, right? Or did I miss out on this?
No. But we have a new single out called Venus from Shocking Blue. It's a cover.
It's a good cover.
We don't really know what to expect. That's the funny thing about being in this band. It's like everybody expects us to have this grand plan, but we're just kind of motoring along and putting the track in front of the train as we go.
We are as surprised as everyone else when we release something.
Yeah, the only thing we can say is basically expect the unexpected, because we don't know.
That sounds amazing. My name's Dawn of the Underground from All Rock. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Europe, Dawn.
Hi guys, Eamon from Eon Music in Ireland here. It's very multicultural today.
Love it.
I suppose I got a multicultural question for you. Love Cop as one of your highest charting albums in your home country in Sweden. Really? 4 albums in a row that have charted. You've also had your highest charting album in Germany. What does that success mean to you?
How come no one tells us these things? That sounds awesome.
I need to work for your label.
I feel it. There's our label exec.
Yeah, what the fuck?
The current label exec, not the exec.
Keep the success away from the band and make them work harder.
Yeah, it's like you have to do better. I guess they want us to do better all the time. But we can see it in the ticket sales and the people that show up and the streaming revenue. That was a joke. But
we can almost buy it ourselves as cheeseburger now.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we love it. I love every step forward, and I also love the steps back, especially
You
when I
said that
step.
before. What do you mean by that?
The thing that happened in 2020 that nobody wants to talk about.
Okay. And then you love
Stepping out.
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is like a therapy session.
Yeah. Hottest therapy session ever.
Hi guys, I'm Elisa from the Road to Rock in the UK. Hi guys. You just said you don't plan anything. How did you get the band together? And when you first formed, did you know what direction you wanted to take?
My part was basically, I just got a phone call. We all knew of each other, we didn't know each other when we were in music academy, like really super posh, sounds very posh. And then I think Adam had an idea, like, yes, to form a band, and he just looked around, like, who amongst all the drummers might play battery the best? It's got to be Per. And who is the greatest rock poser? It's got to be Hannes.
Who has the best dance moves?
Yeah, and who has the thickest neck? That's me.
No, we started, like, Adam wanted to start a band, so he quit the university, and then he went back to the university like 6 months later and said, okay, do you want to be in the band? Do you want to be in the band? Do you want to be in the band? And that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, that's what it was. We didn't know each other. It was really weird, actually, looking back the first couple of rehearsals. It was just like, we played a couple of songs, and then there was silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like playing music always felt great with this setup. Like we had one band member at a time, and it was just instant chemistry every time, and then everything else kind of came out of that. I mean, obviously now we've known each other for a long time, been through some stuff together.
Yeah, it's like a second family nowadays.
Yeah.
With, with all the nice stuff and the bad stuff.
Thank you.
I do have one question. You said about music academy, because in Sweden, when you are young, it's really easy to learn music, play, have some space, etc., etc. And last year we were talking with Ellie from Bluesfields, and she said that things have evolved in the wrong way. Do you have more information about that? What do you think also about that? Because Sweden was a really strong country, pushing young talents to really make it as a living after that.
I think there is some, with the people in place in Swedish government right now, there is some cutting back on the whole cultural education thing, which is obviously very sad, and there's a lot of people being very frustrated about this, us included, I guess, or at least.
Because we all started in that school. I started playing drums when I was 8 years old. Somebody said, hey, what do you want to play? And then you could go and, or do you want to play music? And I said, drums.
Yeah, and it was free for all. I started playing classical piano, and you were just on your way. So.
Yeah, and it's really sad that disappears, because all of the successful musicians from Sweden went through that same education system.
So yeah, I think she's onto something. It is a little, it's sad.
And I heard Lisa Nilsson, that's a Swedish artist that sings in Swedish. But she says, when you start cutting back on culture, you're also like cutting back on mental health, because a lot of people like use music to, and we hear that a lot too. Like, we never thought this band would mean anything to anybody, singing about underwear and making silly puns about innuendos and stuff. But people come up to us all the time and say like, hey, you really helped me get through some tough times. And I think that's something that, you're investing not just in music, you're investing in a bunch of other things as well. I think that's important. More and more important.
Yeah, and I am being given the opportunity to actually do something productive and good with your spare time when you're 14, 15, 16. I mean, that means the world. Who knows what we would have been doing if it wasn't for us being in the rehearsal room.
Crack cocaine, smashing windows.
Playing Bondi.
Yeah. Sweden is a legendary country for artists. The music that's come out. You've got Ghost, you've got ABBA, you've got Max Martin. What's it like to be standing up with those people, and does that push you? Does it inspire you? Is there a Swedish act that you're like, we would like to be like those, or does it make it tougher to stand up against that type of competition like this?
I think they kind of paved the way actually for people and bands like us, because from when we were kids, we knew that it was actually a career choice. You could actually make a living making music. And it wasn't like frowned upon, and it's not so much like go get a real job, get a haircut, get a job. It's not like that in Sweden, because we have so many great artists and successful songwriters and producers, so people know that you can actually make a living, and it's worth taking a shot at it.
We all come from small cities, and all of the other bands come from small cities because there's nothing else to do. So you can either, do crack cocaine or be in a band.
What's the thing about crack cocaine?
It's a metal festival. I'm trying to speak a language.
We're back on the third intervention.
Hello, this is Dawn from All Rock again. I just wanted to know who the genius was behind the video creations, because I loved watching them. So who was the genius with the ideas?
We're talking about Venus. That was basically, we had the song first, and then Adam called us, the rest of the band. We had a band meeting, and it's like, to be able to make some sort of success with the song, we need movie material nowadays. It doesn't cut it anymore. We're just releasing a song. Everybody like, yeah, we do. And then we just tried to figure out that there's brainstorming. And then we came up with like, what about corpse paint? We haven't done that before, so let's give that a go. And what about a love story with corpse paint? Now we're talking, now we're cooking. And it just kind of like naturally evolved, and basically we kind of had the script done on the morning when we started shooting. So, and it's a lot of improvisation as well. It was, as always, a tight budget and on a tight time schedule. So, but we were super happy with the result as well.
It's weird how we're on such a tight budget, knowing that we're number one.
Yeah, oh, hey, having a good time, Björn.
It's Pipeman on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio on the Pipeman Radio Tour here at Hellfest 2025. And we are about to watch the press conference of Within Temptation. Stay tuned.
Like a circle, full circle, but still there's so much still to do and to talk about and to keep on putting a highlight on it. For us, it was the first time when I went to the Ukraine. I wasn't that scared to go, because when you go into the country, you fly to Poland, you get a train to the Ukraine, to Kyiv eventually, and you get an app and you can see what kind of dangers there are coming towards you, like if there's a MiG or there's drones coming towards you, and then you have some time still to go to a shelter. The second time I was scared shit because of the fact that they had bombed Kyiv just before the Atlas festival was supposed to happen, and they bombed the children's hospital, and there were many casualties, and they postponed the festival by a week, which I have never had seen in my complete career, that anything was possible to postpone by a week. But every person on that festival said, we're going to postpone it, we'll do anything to be there and to still have our music and to have like a comfort kind of thing for the Ukrainian people, for Kyiv people. And And I was really inspired by that because it was like the resilience of the Ukrainian inspired me every day. I think they have no choice, of course, but on the other hand, you can also roll over and say, take it all. And they don't. They really fight back with a lot of honor and dignity. And to see them, how they do the war, compared to the Russians, they attack every civilian while the Ukrainian only attack military targets. It's a huge difference of how we see a lot of things happening in the world right now. So going there was an honor for me to be part of that, and I hope to do so in the future again.
Hi, I'm Sian from Midnight TV Friends. Hello, thank you for your humanity. We love that really in you. I have a question. Sorry, because your answer was really, truly amazing just before. Yes, as an artist, how do you physically and mentally cope with this extreme weather?
With the weather?
Yeah, with the condition outward. And do you feel like climate change is becoming a real challenge for live performance? Let's be true.
Yeah, well, that's another topic that is close to my heart as well. It's not easy for anyone to be here. Actually, they wanted to cancel the press conference because it's too hot in here. But I think it's two important issues to talk about today, and I'll redo my makeup later on. I don't care. Anyway, I think climate change is a thing. I am not a denier of that at all. I think our album, The Silent Force, at the time was dealing a lot with the topics on that as well. And it's unfortunate that there are so many issues in the world right now that we don't have, that we're not focused on that much anymore, that we have to focus on dealing with wars at the time instead of trying to face another danger for everyone, which is climate change. You're welcome. Hello.
I have a question more technical
yeah, no problem.
Than the others. It's about you, night after night, you put impressive vocal performance. It's really, really, really impressive. How do you handle with that and keep shape with your voice with the really difficult weather, really hot, cold, AC and all that stuff? How do you handle with that to keep a really best performance night after night and impressive night after night?
Well, actually we came just from Denmark, where it's like 12 degrees colder than here, so it made a huge change. I was wearing a sweater yesterday, and now I'd rather wear as less as possible. But to answer your question, it's not a very rock and roll answer, because the older you get, and of course with the most playing on festivals like these, people are expecting a good presentation of the band. It's a lot of sleep, alcohol-free beer. That's just me. The rest of the guys, they can do whatever they want, but it's for me, for my vocals, it's important to maintain my health and have a lot of sleep, which is pretty boring, but I enjoy performing on stage a lot, and so to do what I love best, I have to take certain measurements, and I will.
Hello, I'm Elisa from The Road to Rock. Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, recently you collaborated with a Ukrainian artist.
Yes.
You said you're working on more new music. Do you have more collaborations coming up, or who would you like to collaborate with?
There's actually a lot of collaborations coming up. Another from Ukraine, which I'm not allowed to talk about yet. And also with some other people, someone from Germany, someone from Sweden. So I'm featuring a lot of stuff at the moment, so which I enjoy very much, because you get to know other people as well outside of your own music stream, and and I love doing that. There's many people I would love to collaborate with. A lot of them are also dead, but the thing is, for us, when we want to collaborate, it's people approach us, or we have written a song that fits a certain vocal, and we'll hope to try to get that person on board. So we'll see. You're welcome.
Hello, Dawn from All Rock again.
Oh, yeah.
The last time you were here in Paris, it was snowing, and now it's hot. So, how is it like playing for the French people, and how do you feel playing for the French?
Well, the French people are like a lot of Mediterranean people. You know, they're all over the place when they're in the audience. Most of the time, they're very expressive of their love for music, and that's always the reason why we love playing for the French people, but also the Mediterranean people, because they're very vocal and they're very expressive, and you need that energy to perform as well. And the more love you get, the love more we can spread it as well. So it's an interaction that is well needed. Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, this is Archie Music from Mexico.
Hello, Mexico.
Tonight you will take the main stage at the Hellfest.
Yeah.
Despite the heat, fans are holding their ground to see you live. How does it feel to witness that kind of devotion?
Can you repeat the last part?
How does it feel to witness that kind of devotion?
Devotion of the people that are in front of the stage. Yeah, well, that's of course amazing. Hopefully they will manage to drink a lot and still be energetic at the time that we're playing. So hopefully, they will be still standing at the time.
Any more questions? I have one question. Your previous album, you released it without the support of a record label, so I guess you will follow this new process. Do you already know what you can improve in all the fact of releasing an album without the support of a record label?
I think doing that without a record label has its advantages but also disadvantages, and that's something we've learned throughout the last album that we have released. But it also gave a lot of freedom to release whenever you wanted to, especially during Corona. We were feeling like, we're all bound at home and needed music ourselves, but also for our fans. And that's why we did the releases that we did, so many before the album actually came out. And I'm not sure we're going to do exactly the same, because it also has its disadvantages. And maybe we'll do some things differently with the next album, but we'll maintain our independence. That's something that I think is still very important.
I have a question. I think it's interesting to ask story. A man with like you, who has many albums. It's like about the set list of the show. I know it's really difficult. Hopefully for us, you have a big timeline tonight. But how difficult is it to choose the great set list each time? And do you choose to change really often to put the many rarities, I want to say, in the most show each night, or is it a choice to stay with the same set list in one tour for weeks?
We do change a little bit here and there throughout the festival season, but not that much, because when you're headlining the stage, it's still, you want to play the best set as you have, because there's still a lot of people that didn't come for you, although you're late on the bill. And you want to present the album or the band in a way that will make them interested into listening to you on the platforms as well, and start following you. And so the best set list is what we're going to play tonight. It's maybe not the most original one, but I think a lot of people will be happy with hearing, and it will be a very dynamic and energizing one. You're welcome.
No more questions? Thank you very much, Sharon.
You're welcome.
See you later.
Thank you for being here. In this meeting.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.